Hey, thanks for listening. This is Andy, and today, March 17th, is my birthday. I am turning 46 today, and I wanted to make this episode just to express my gratitude for you listening, for all of my family and friends, and for the life that I get to live today. And because I always like to bring a lesson into everything that I share, I hope that you can take it as inspiration to notice the progress that you've made in your own life, because I think sometimes we just move from station to station, one thing to the next. Especially ambitious people, we set the goal, we achieve part of the goal or some of the goal or all of the goal, and then we move on to the next thing, and we just keep moving and moving, and we always find things to be frustrated with and challenged with. We always have new ambitions and things we want to achieve, and accept the life that we have today. That's the life we have, and really take it for granted sometimes how much progress we've made or how lucky we are to have the things that we have. If you listen to my episode yesterday, or you just follow me in general, you know I'm big on gratitude and noticing the things that are great and not just the things that are not going great. So I want to notice how great my life is today compared to maybe where it was in the past. And I must admit, I'm very lucky. I was born in the United States to parents who cared about me and who made a decent income. We certainly weren't wealthy by any means. My parents were teachers, but we didn't want for anything. We weren't struggling to put food on the table. And while I have struggled mightily in my career, especially early on when I was frustrated and I didn't know what to do, and I tried many things that didn't work out. I got let go from a couple jobs. I missed out on promotions and jobs. I felt very demoralized and frustrated many times. And a lot of that experience led to the breakthrough that I had about 10 years ago when I got really into personal development, which eventually led to the framework I created that became my book, Own Your Career, Own Your Life. And through it all, I have to say, I'm very lucky that at least I was in those circumstances. I had those opportunities to create the life that I'm in, and that I've never been in a truly, truly challenging circumstance other than the COVID pandemic shutting down my whole business in 2020, and then getting cancer and dealing with that disease and the treatment in late 2020 and early 2021. Those are certainly challenging times in my life, but that's about a year span where I haven't had too many other major challenges in my life compared to what other people have faced. So I have to say, first of all, I'm very lucky. Second of all, I've made a ton of progress. If I think about 10 years ago, when I had two very young kids, a job that was good but was frustrating to me because I didn't feel like I was going anywhere with it, and a strong desire to eventually be running my own business, but I had no idea what to do or how to do it. And I would listen to podcasts all the time from experts and gurus and these successful people, or people who at least pretended to be very successful as they sold their stuff. And I just so greatly admired all these people. And I thought, I wonder what it'd be like to be someone who is creating content and influencing and helping others and making money on your own as a business. And I've mostly achieved that. Certainly not wild, crazy success. I'm not a big time influencer or anything like that, but I started my first podcast in 2017, started my second podcast, The Talent Development Hot Seat, in 2018. I have published over, I think, 1,100 podcast episodes. I've been a guest on something like 200 other podcasts without really pursuing that very much, because I've built such a great network and a strong personal brand. I've probably posted over 1,000 times on LinkedIn, as well as other social media platforms. I have changed careers and started my own business, becoming an independent contractor for Advantage Performance Group in 2018, and then going completely out on my own in 2020 during a pandemic that had shut everything down. I started a conference from nothing with my friend Bennett Phillips in 2019. I started a membership community from nothing in 2020 that has made multiple six figures in income and brought people together and connected people and helped so many people become friends in talent development. I have now published 2 books, one on my own and one that I co-authored with my friend Mike Kim that came out last year in 2025. I'm working on a third. And in 2023, I moved my family from Florida to Spain, and we've been living here for 2.5 years, despite really not speaking very much Spanish and having a business that really requires me to be in the US. And somehow I've been pulling this off for the last couple of years. I've made lots of great friends here. I've gotten big into cycling. I've gotten into playing paddle, which is a fun racket sport that's very popular in Spain. And I've been to many conferences. I've hosted events. I've made so many great friends over the last 10 plus years since I've been on this personal development journey. And I have a family that I love and I think loves me, a wife and 2 kids, a dog who's laying on the floor behind me as I record this. And I know I sound like I'm bragging, but I want to acknowledge how great things are and how much I've accomplished over the last 10 years. And though I hate the phrase that if I can do it, anybody can do it, when people say that, I sort of shake my head because we all have different abilities. And just because one person can do something doesn't mean that we all can do it, right? And so not everybody listening is going to go out and do all the things that I did. But one of the biggest shifts I made that allowed me to accomplish so many things was shifting to adopting a growth mindset when I read the book Mindset, The New Psychology of Success in 2016, and just deciding to get past my imposter syndrome and believe in myself and say, whatever I'm thinking about doing, I'm going to go try it. And if it fails, that's okay. At least it'll be a great learning experience. And that one decision has truly, along with so many other things, help from so many mentors, investing so much in myself and joining lots of groups and doing different things. But that decision has really allowed me to try and achieve so many things, taking ownership and committing to a growth mindset and just trying stuff. And so let that be the final lesson that I share with you today as I try to wrap this up, that whatever it is that you want to achieve in life, you're probably going to need to take some risks and take some chances. And that's why it's important to take ownership and say, if it's going to be, it's up to me, and to adopt that growth mindset and say, I'm just going to try stuff. And if I fail, that's okay, because I'll learn from the experience and then I will make adjustments and I'll move on and I'll try again, or I'll do something else. And then as you continue to age and experience different things and achieve certain things, make sure to stop and appreciate how far you've come, the things you've tried, the things you've done, even the failures, to be grateful that you tried those things, and acknowledge how far you've come and how you've improved and matured and developed, and just be grateful for the life that you have while also being ambitious to achieve more in the future like I am. Hope that is helpful. I don't know when your birthday is. You don't have to wait for then to do this sort of audit on your life, but it is a good time to do it. I am going to be reflecting on my own birthday today, as well as hopefully going for a very long bike ride. I'm actually recording this the day before, and celebrating with my family. Thank you for listening. I am rooting for you, and I will talk to you tomorrow.